Hello guys, it's Bushcraft Family back again with another video, and I try to do these every month. I try to get them out at the beginning of the month, but there is a lot of research that I do in these to try to find out the main issues that we'll be having during that month. Now, a lot of times these shortages that I talk about really end up going well past that month, and there's actually keeps on going, but coming up with these sometimes takes a little bit of time. So just remember, I try to get these out in time, but like I said, this is going to be 10 items, 10 shortages that you'll see in February, and again, probably more than likely March and April. So get ready, hold on tight, here we go. Number one, beef. Yes, beef. According to Beef Magazine, the USDA estimated that the average American consumes 5.6% less beef in 2023 than they did in 2022, which is kind of odd because it's only, February. The steepest decline in 40 years. Yes. And the cost of growing said cows, which is where we get our beef from, in case you didn't know, has drastically increased. And a lot of issues have come up on in the beef industry. I'm not going to get into it or anything like this, but they are talking about shortages up to 14% and cost hikes up to 32%. Now this may not just be in February, maybe the whole year. So it's something that I'm going to keep my eyes on, and we need to be prepared for this. I mean, there are other places to get our beef than the grocery store. It's time that we start looking to our local farmers. Some people can't afford to get whole cows or half cows or things like that. I think it's time that community of preppers kind of get together and say, hey, next month we are thinking about getting beef from this farmer, but we can't afford to purchase the whole cow or something, and ask everybody to come together and say, well, you buy this quarter, I get this quarter, and we'll divvy it up, evenly. That may be the way to go. Plus, if you know the farmer and stuff, and you know how they feed the animals, it's a lot different than the stuff that we get from the grocery store. And I'm not going to go into details about the stuff in the grocery stores or anything like that. But yeah. Number two, lettuce. Lettuce has been on this list a few times now. There has been a virus, a lettuce virus, and it doesn't seem like we're past that stage yet. There are still farmers that are losing whole crops of lettuce, and there's still a lot of shortages, and I'm sure that you've seen a lot of the prices go up quite a bit. I know a lot of fast food places are not putting lettuce on their hamburgers and stuff like that, or they're charging extra for lettuce now. I never thought that you go to a place that always has lettuce, tomato, onion on there, unless you said, oh, I didn't want that, they leave it on. But now you have to pay extra for lettuce, tomato, and onions. What's next? You have to pay for the mayonnaise and the ketchup and mustard. It's coming. Okay, number three is beer. Yep, sorry for those beer drinkers out there. there's a possible looming shortage of beer in 2023. Isn't necessary because it's growing emissions of raw ingredients needed to make the alcohol, but empty beer shelves might be a problem in the coming months due to lack of materials like carbonated and packaging that the cans. So this is something that we're going to keep an eye on, because aluminum itself has went up 20% this year, and this is February. So that's what we got to look for. Our next one, number 4, is oranges. Yes, according to the Florida Department of Citrus, the state is now one of the world's largest prolific regions of growing oranges, producing for orange juice, which that doesn't make sense, but okay. The Florida climate is usually provides an ideal citrus condition for growing all year round. But there has been tons of rain. There has been issues with soil, not to mention weird weather, and those swirly heavy winds that come by every once in a while that makes a lot of people leave their area and come back to nothing. Well, it has hit us, and again, oranges, if you haven't noticed, your orange juice in the stores have went up quite a bit, and it's hard to find some good oranges that you can get nowadays that are not oddly shaped and stuff like that. It used to be you had your prime oranges and stuff that was the perfect size and didn't have any blemishes on there, and then you had the low grade stuff that was for orange juice and stuff like that, which is nothing wrong with them. But now we're seeing that there is hardly any of those perfect little oranges anymore. So something we got to prepare for. And I love orange juice. Anyways, our number 5 on the list here is cooking oil. I've talked about certain oils and stuff like sunflower. You hardly ever see sunflower anymore. But there are certain things that we have, like we're really low on corn oil and stuff like that because corn is being used for other things. We're not growing as much. 70% of the world's sunflower seeds come from in certain countries that are having issues at the moment. I'm not going to go over it. It's military issues, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. Other oils like soybeans and things like that, peanut oil, canola, all of these are at very, very bottom of the list to grow, I should say, because there's other things in front of those. And they're saying that the increase of this the price increase is going to go up 25% between now and April. So get ready, guys. And again, here we go. Number 6, butter. Refrigerated butter in the supermarkets aren't suddenly going to be turn empty. The United States has endured some supply and costs with butter since the few months, according to Consumer Price Index, but the price has went up 12%. Yeah, 12%. And they are looking for another 14% this year in the rise. And it's because there is a and they're going to call, and it's going to be labor issues because they're saying they don't have the workers to do the milking and all that stuff that makes our milk, and less work means less milk. So that's where they're going with it. I'm not going to say anything, but this is what they're saying. So we're getting less milk out there. And the biggest used to be milk, used to be the main thing that you would see shortage of the dairy. Now it's butter. I don't know. That's just what the experts are saying and whatnot. They're saying it could take a while before this stabilizes, but we'll be still be stuck with this high prices for butter. Okay, we got number 7, and this has been in this list before. Corn. Corn is one of our staples that we used to be like the top dog for corn and everything. Sorry about the sirens going on in the background. According to the Department of Agriculture, where it's used to make oil, high corn syrup, canned or solid, fresh or off the cob. Corn is extremely versatile and is an important product. But there are a lot of things that I'm not going to go into this. And we'll just put it this way. In 2022, the USDA farmers were set to plant 89 million acres of crops of corn. And that's 4% less than 2021. Guess what? It's going to be a lot higher than that where farmers are not going to be planting corn. It's going to 12% less than that. So sorry about that. Eggs is our next one. Number 8. Yeah, eggs is still going to be in this. There is a lot of things going on in this. I'm not going to get too much into it. We've got whole coops of chickens being burnt down, or I should say caught fire. There we go. Sorry. We have the bird flu. We have the feed issues, which is a whole ball of wax right there. But the severe lack of eggs in 2023, they have so many excuses for this that I'm not going to even get into. But yeah, the supply chain for eggs has been one of the main issues in the last probably 6 months. I'm assuming a lot of this will change once weather gets better and birds are allowed to go outside and do what they do. But let's go ahead and get to our next one. And this is another Florida thing in California, but number 9 is tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes. And this is mainly for the people in California that's been growing tomatoes. We know 1 week it's lack of rain and there's a drought. The next week we're being flooded. But we should prepare for this flooding, shouldn't we? We should store all this rainwater so that when the drought comes, we have water. No, let's send it all out to the ocean. Yeah. With the floods and everything that happened in the farmlands of California, tomatoes have took a major dip. And we can also say the same here down in Florida. issues that plague orange growers and stuff like that have also plagued tomatoes. So the forecast is that Florida they're gonna lose 2% of their yield. California, though, they are talking at least 14% of the yield they will be losing. So that means whatever farmers they are growing for, be it to ketchup, pasta sauce, whatever the case may be, expect some shortages and or price hikes for that stuff. That's what we have to look for. And number 10, bread. And yes, you're going to hear it again. The thing down or up in Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, this is the major excuse for the shortages and the price hikes for bread and anything to do with bread, be it the grains, all that stuff. It's still an ongoing thing. So I think even if it completely ended tomorrow, we would still be in this shortage for quite a while. It's going to take a while before we get out of this rut with the bread and stuff. And a side note on your bread, I suggest everybody that goes and buys bread, look at the back, look at the ingredients. There used to be things that you wanted to look out for, like bleached, enriched bread, wheat. That was, you could live with that, but it was not the healthiest. But now you have to look out for bioengineered ingredients. They put a label back there. You don't know what ingredient it is, but it's in there. And that's some of the stuff that we need to be keep our eye open for and stuff like that. But that is the list. And again, I'm sorry that it took me most of the month, half the month to get this out. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff to go through to try to pinpoint these shortages and price hikes. Because usually when there's shortage, they raise the price of it too. Until next time, guys, like always, God bless.